Table better because
It feels
I
more
could sit
comfortable.
closer to the mic.
I should have ate before I fucking got here.
I should have asked you guys if you wanted something. I was being greedy and didn't even think.
No,
I'm
you're
sorry.
fine. Well, I'm fine.
I'm upset. No,
I'm sorry. I ate a whole sandwich and a banana.
I saw you, hungry ass.
I was hungry.
We always record around this time. It's still like dinner time, so I'm just like, I gotta eat.
What's your average time that you eat dinner,
For me, like I by 7, 8.
Jeff?
Yeah, like around that time, 6:30 earliest.
Is that a good volume?
That's great.
Perfect. All right.
I'm ready.
Do 10 seconds of silence. We'll get started. 10.
Check, check, check. If you're hearing the sound of my voice or watching this on YouTube, that means you're now tuned in to chapter 101 of the Introverted Intuition podcast. My name is Jeff, a.k.a. the Petty Podcaster, a.k.a. the Ambitious Introvert. Tonight I have Coco and CR with me.
Hello.
We're waiting for the arrival of a guest who should be here momentarily, hopefully. What's up with y'all? I mean, we just had like a whole hour conversation. I'm saying what's up with y'all. Mad fake.
We've already caught up.
Yeah, we had a really deep conversation before getting in here about creativity and just life
And procrastination.
procrastination for sure.
Yes.
Do we continue? Do we dare continue that conversation? Or?
I'm not afraid.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the main point that CR and I came up with that is like we procrastinate a lot and we we come up with more ideas, but we don't execute them.
Yeah, and I think part of that is because sometimes I think we think so far ahead that we come up with ideas that maybe we're not ready to execute yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big thing because think about people like, Meek Mill or like Jay-Z, like they probably had mad ideas,
Right.
but they're probably just now maybe getting in the position to do some of those ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that has something to do with it too. So the only thing you can do right now is like prepare. You know what I'm saying? So if you get ready, you won't ever have to worry about, if you're ready, you don't got to worry about getting ready. Right.
I think I'm like kind of preparing my mind more so for that because if I do end up getting everything that I want
right now,
I may not be able to handle it now mentally.
Yes.
So I've kind of been training my mind. I'm going to get back into therapy thanks to CR's recommendation and all that. And because I think right now if I got everything I wanted, I think my mind would explode.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think I would go down a serious hole of like addiction and just like I think I would just I don't know if I have the control that I should have, because I feel like I'd be on such a euphoric like platform. I'd just be like in a whole nother world, like, you know what I'm saying? Like overwhelmed because I feel like I don't know, I feel like there's still certain things I need to discipline myself with before I get that level of success.
Yeah, there's an age difference between, I mean, I want to point it out, Coco, but like you are older than us, and like I'm curious, do you think this way as well? Like, do you have like any desire to be, I guess, big time, known, wealthy, successful?
Wealthy, successful, well,
yeah,
of course, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think success is, measured upon obviously, where you want to be. But for me recently, it's a matter of not putting too much pressure on myself, but being not using negative speech.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when we're, trying to be focused on whatever it is we're trying to get towards, and then if we get disappointed, there's certain steps to take as far as, improving in whatever area, you're focused on. Mm-hmm. But I think it's also a matter of, like, don't be so hard on yourself always. You know what I mean? It's like,
do you feel like that's what we're doing? Being hard on ourselves?
Sometimes. Well, you especially. I think sometimes you're a little too hard on yourself.
Yeah, because I mean, I have certain expectations for myself, and if I feel like if I don't live up to them, I'm a disappointment to myself. And I feel like I don't really tune into like other people's opinions as much. Like I'm my own worst critic.
We all are, yeah, definitely.
And because I just know what I'm capable of too. So when I don't reach those certain like plateaus and peaks and valleys and stuff like that, it's just hard for me to deal with that.
But at the same time, we're always learning, so it's just a matter of, okay, that didn't go right. I need to rework it.
Yeah.
As opposed to even getting stuck even for a second in like, fuck, like being so, what the fuck did I do wrong? Da-da-da-da. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So just being a little bit more, I don't know, constructive with it as far as.
I feel like Lainey would say the same thing, but she would say it a lot harsher.
She's like, nah,
Jeff,
nigga,
shut
you
the
need
fuck
to
up.
relax,
Yeah.
nigga.
Yeah.
You Libra, blah, blah, blah. Like, she would shit on me, but shout out to Lainey. We miss her.
Right.
But I actually enjoy having this conversation with y'all because, like, I do draw inspiration from you guys. And, like, you guys, I feel like we all know more than each other, right? It's like I feel we all know one thing that the other person doesn't know, or have been through something that the other person doesn't know.
You're always trying to find out something about somebody. This is the issue.
Me? Yeah, because y'all don't express yourselves.
I disagree.
I want to hear about your trauma.
I disagree. I feel like exactly. I feel like he
want the
expects us
trauma.
to express ourselves in a certain way, and because we don't, he gets upset.
Maybe I'm holding you to my
somehow.
standard.
Yeah,
Why?
maybe
I'm
you
not
are.
sure why,
you want it
but-
to sound a certain way, maybe.
No, but I just feel like overall, like maybe you guys haven't gotten used to the concept of like what the show is or just doing
Really?
it. Maybe not.
We haven't exposed enough of ourselves, is what you're saying.
But we haven't gone in depth.
I feel like you haven't because I
I
feel,
feel like
don't
you're
you-
saying me specifically more so than anybody else here. at the
No,
moment.
no, you and Lainey actually. You and Lainey.
Really?
I feel like you guys. But maybe that's just how you are, and I respect that. I don't try to force it out of you, but I feel like in order to really help, I feel like we have to put ourselves on the front lines and be the martyrs, to be those real examples of people who've gone through. Maybe someone who's listening has been through something that you haven't expressed yet. You never know.
So you're asking for more vulnerability.
Vulnerability, more
Be more
comfort.
from
We've
the
done this.
things
You've done this for like 50 plus
vulnerable.
episodes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What?
So what's up?
What's up?
What's up with the trauma?
He wants the
I think
trauma.
listeners,
Listen to
listeners
him.
who are listening and watching.
Are you good? Like
and
how
have consistently have heard the little things that I've said over the time. So
are you good though? Like how has 2019 been coming for you personally, Coco?
better than I expected.
Yeah.
Very short and sweet. Now I see what you're saying.
I
Better than,
hate
better
that.
than I
Yeah.
expected.
She said so much without saying anything.
Well, I mean,
You found
what
love,
do you
right?
want? If that's how you want to put it.
I mean, you in Elizabeth, New Jersey every weekend. I don't know.
I'm not in Elizabeth every weekend. First of all. You see, he's giving out coordinates. Ain't
Right.
nobody
Yeah,
give
my
him
bad,
coordinates.
shit.
He want to give out coordinates on people.
908.
I mean, that
Sir.
Jersey.
The Jersey.
Okay.
It's a wonderful state.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it. I mean, it's inevitable that this podcast is going to get more popping. Eventually, TMZ will be knocking on your door. So I'm trying to prepare you for that.
Are you? Okay.
I'm trying to be TMZ right now.
I see.
Put the camera in your face. Say, Coco, what's going on?
Mm.
Okay, I'll move on.
I do wonder about like
What?
Coco and Lainey's like upbringing, like some of the struggles you guys been through. Because I know we don't know that much about like your life before we met you. We only know current things, really. We only know what's going on as far as maybe the past year, 2 years.
Yeah.
But you have lived a life
Yes.
that
I
we
have.
don't know of. Like,
I mean, I've spoken about it. I had a child
Briefly.
young. My daughter is 23, going on 24, and you know.
Really? I
very-
didn't know that.
Yeah, I was very focused on bringing her up and making sure she was good. And I worked 3 jobs
I didn't know
often
that.
for many years, and I learned a lot of different lessons like managing money and what not to do. And
So me and CR on the fucking front talking about how we struggling with the money and spending shit, and you have all the keys in your mind. You're not helping us.
well, I can say I'm debt free now.
That's beautiful. That is it.
It took a
You're
long time.
you're free.
If I was
You
one
are
of those
truly
whack
free.
podcasts, I would have the clap sound for you, but I don't have that. Our guest is 9 minutes away, by the way. Just a little update.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't even know what your favorite food is or your favorite color.
My favorite food is food.
Oh my god.
I like all food.
That's what the pothead is talking about.
Right.
No,
This is
that's
pothead
not
talk.
true. This is not true that you're saying.
What is this
I like all
accent?
foods.
Yo,
Sometimes
you're
I talk
freaking
in
me
an
out with
accent.
that accent.
I like all foods.
Heard you. Yo, we got to redo the top list of music again. We didn't talk about SWV. We didn't mention
Oh my god!
fucking
I don't even want to. How many
Flowetry.
times I cringed
Somebody
at
did
realizing I
bring up
didn't put
Flowetry.
somebody on my freaking list.
Yeah.
I can't.
And we did 10 too. Like everyone else did like 50, and I felt like, damn, we were lazy as hell.
That's why I have 4 different lists.
You did. You had like
Put your
yeah,
bases, yeah.
yeah. We didn't put in much effort into that. Maybe we should do that again. Actually, I'm over it. I don't care because it's all opinion, and then like there's always gonna be disagreeing with each
We'll
other,
do it again, of course, but
going around in circles.
I want to do mine again.
Do either of you have like one of those for the new segment, like inventor or like
Oh my
created
God.
on the show.
Oh damn! Totally.
I didn't know. I forgot
that.
about my homework.
Yeah,
Teacher.
damn.
Totally forgot.
I
about
You know
didn't
what's
do my
crazy? Who
homework.
probably the one who had it isn't here is Lainey. She probably had.
I know,
She
right? She
sure
probably
did.
was ready.
I don't have one either, so I guess we'll ignore that segment.
I like the don't sleep. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't want to get
don't
rid of that,
sleep.
but like,
Okay.
it's just you're adding more. I
still
want
don't
to
have one of
spice
those
it
either,
up.
but I like that one.
I don't even
like
have.
those.
I never have a don't sleep until we get here. I don't write it down anymore. Sometimes I do.
I have a don't sleep today.
Like the Richard Pryor one I wrote down, but yeah. Are y'all familiar with our guest is coming in? She was on Black King Crew. Do y'all watch reality TV?
Not too much anymore, but I had my daughter try and film me in a bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't watch it anymore because like I used to only watch it with my ex, and it's just like I can't bring up those little memories. Even though I do enjoy the ratchetness, like the memories of doing it feels like weird, but it's gonna be kind of surreal because I've seen her on TV. Yeah,
That's tough. I don't watch Black Ink Crew, but I've heard a lot about it. I've met some people related to Caesar. I don't even know who Caesar. I know who he is. I don't know who he is, but I know of him.
So she told me like we can like get too specific into the show. I guess we can. I don't know if we can even talk about her experience, but we're gonna find out because I got questions.
I know you like testing boundaries.
Yeah, but I don't want to get her in trouble, and I don't want to get in trouble. But
I feel like she'll let you know.
I want to sell it in a way to like someone from VH1 is watching this and maybe be like, oh shit, they good. You know what I mean? We could do something with them. I don't know.
True.
It can happen.
I doubt it. You think it'd be like a VH1 podcast?
You have to speak these things into existence. You can't just say, I doubt it, because now you're fucking up the whole vibe of it.
You think I do that a lot?
Yes. We
Why?
all do. Everybody does that a lot.
No, but you
When we
you
complain.
said it pretty strongly when you said yes. You said
Yeah.
it.
I'm just saying.
What is your analysis of me, Coco? I feel like over the past year of like,
You want me to analyze you? Why?
I just want to know what you and you CR too. I want to know what y'all perception of me is like, or even each other. Like we gotten to know each other a bit.
You're cool peoples.
That's like okay, you alright, but I could cut you off
Let's go on.
with no problem.
I say nothing of the kind. I don't understand what is going
I don't
on.
know. I'm just making conversation. I just want to know.
You're harsh.
I think. All right. I think you definitely are somebody who definitely goes by integrity, and you like going against the grain. Meaning, like you're not gonna choose the most popular position on things. I feel like you're antagonistic. Like you like confrontation, and it's not
Really?
necessary. Yes, I
think that?
not confrontation is not always bad because it's like the way you and Lainey like to tease each other. Like that's being antagonistic, but it's not a bad thing. Like my girlfriend's antagonistic. Like you know what I'm
He
saying?
likes that though.
I do like
He
that because
likes
it's
That's a turn on.
fun.
You like that?
It's fun. It's fun. It's fun because you don't want somebody who's always like a yes man or very. Because I'm highly agreeable.
You want a little challenge.
You want a little
know?
challenge.
Just a little challenge.
I feel like you've had a lot of yes men in your life.
I have. I've had a lot of yes men in my life, and it's just like I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the people who are blunt, honest, or gonna tell me shit that I really don't want to hear, but I know I need to hear.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like you remind me of that type of person. Like you're that. I feel like you're humble, but fake humble because like you be flexing on the low, like you know what I'm saying, like
Flex,
Yeah.
flex.
you be flexing on the low.
You saw I put up the amount of purchases we had of the merch on Instagram. Just to let niggas know that we selling shit out here. You know what I mean?
I can only imagine when he makes his first meal. Like this nigga,
Bro, the people who didn't believe are gonna know that they fucked up, yo.
he's gonna
telling
send
you.
screenshots of his checks
Yeah.
in a group chat.
Shit happening.
Be like, wish you were here.
Yo, the petty
Yeah, that happened.
podcaster,
Like,
bro.
damn.
Wish you were here. I
can't wait, yo.
See what I'm saying? Like, who comes up with that? Like,
Yo.
wish you were here.
Damn, I can't wait.
Yo,
That's fucked up though.
yeah.
That's fucked up. You gonna do the same thing though. I mean, I think you're a really good guy. I think you're a good leader. You're a good loyal friend. But I do think you have a good side of you. When you get popping enough, niggas gonna know.
They gonna know.
Ciara gonna pull up in the lift with the Benz or some shit, like, with the lift sign in the front. Yeah.
Yo, I think when I get my first meal, I think my flexing will be just me not being in contact with certain people. Like, there's gonna be like the only people that I truly vibe with, like you guys, like my true friends. Like, you guys would be the only ones that I'm really, and I'm totally changing my number, like, right away. Like, right away.
You
Like,
better.
How
the
do you
same
do that
day.
exactly? You just go to the store and be like, "Want
Yeah, you just get a new
let 'em know.
number.
You call them and tell them. Change my
Yeah.
number now.
Changed a lot of numbers in your past, huh? Crazy exes.
No, because I block.
Oh,
blocking
shit.
people.
My block list is long. I feel you on
It's
that.
not that long anymore, but
I have a long block list.
What does it take for y'all to like cut someone off? Is it just like behavior? Or is it something they do to you?
If you're a toxic individual, and that means in any facet,
Yeah.
if I feel like you have an addiction that is, detrimental to my success, I can't fuck with you. If you're low key jealous and you're like showing fake love, I can't fuck with you. If you're not progressive in your own life, you're happy and complacent and stagnant with not being successful,
Same.
I can't fuck with
it's
you.
different levels.
Yeah, there's different levels. It's just like I can't fuck with people who are not progressive, who are not doing things actively to better themselves. I'm at that point where I'm just like, I don't want that energy around me.
Yeah, disloyalty is for me. Like,
yeah,
I
definitely.
can't tolerate that, and I don't give second chances either. I hold grudges. I still got grudges. I was just thinking about a grudge I had the other day. I still have like, I ain't gonna say it, but like I don't know, like disloyalty for me, like, and that can classify as anything. Like, just if not telling me something is like that's like could be like life changing or important.
Yeah,
that's disloyalty to me. Disloyalty to me.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree with that. Disloyalty is definitely one of the biggest things.
People ain't loyal.
I want to see Coco's block list though. I want to see how long it is.
It really isn't. It used to be longer, but it's not anymore.
So you forgiving people?
Yes, and
What's that
also
old
I
thing
just, at some point it's like the ones that really did need to be blocked, you just keep them on block for a little while, and then you can check the block list, see if anybody is, to make sure, and then you take them off after a while because it's like, all right,
Yeah.
I haven't heard from a while.
If we were to interview someone that
Move
you
on.
dated, what would you think would be the one thing that was a negative thing about you? What do you think they would say?
That's
I like
a good
that
question.
question.
Can't think of anything.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
damn.
No, just kidding. That I'm sensitive.
Keep
Which I don't think.
fill
I
time.
personally don't. I personally don't think that that's a negative
I don't
because
think it's
that
negative.
it benefits me in a lot of ways. But at the same time, I think that would be something that somebody in my past would say, like, you're too sensitive. You
So-
overthink.
So, like, what would be you demonstrating your oversensitivity? Would it be because there's different ways to be sensitive? You could get sad easily. You could get mad easily. Like, what was it for you?
I don't know. I can't think of anything specific, but maybe just pouting a little bit. Like I'm a good pouter. Only because, and I say pouting meaning like if I get upset about something, I
Or
don't
disappointed.
automatically, or disappointed. Yeah, I don't automatically say what it is. I kind
You
of
just
hold
tell
on
by
to
the
it because I try to push it down. Actually,
I know.
I try to push it down because I don't want it to be a big deal. I don't want to be told I'm too fucking sensitive.
Bruh.
So I'll try to push it down
That's me.
and ignore it, and
It
till it
comes
winds
out.
up over. Yeah, till it winds up overtaking me, and then I'm super angry, and then the person's looking at me like, "What the shit? This, you're blowing something out of proportion, not knowing that it was building for me." So that's just one example, but
Nah,
I'll give you no more.
I really can relate to that because like I'm the same way. Like when something upsets me, I try so hard not to let it upset me. Like I've just learned that I am a sensitive person. I accept that about myself, and the people who are closest to me should accept that about me because all my friends know me. Like they know like my triggers. My girlfriend definitely knows my triggers. So it's just like I had to kind of accept that about myself because I kind of didn't want to. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, fuck that, I'm hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel shit. But it's just like, nah, bro. Like,
Hearted.
I'm mad sensitive, bro.
I'm trying to think when I first realized I was sensitive, or I guess came to grips with that. Like, I think I accepted it pretty early on because I just knew I was always different from other people, and I just received energy differently. And yeah, like I think I got more sensitive, like because I used to get made fun of a lot when I was a kid growing up.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah. You said
I
tease
got
a lot
made
when I was
fun of.
younger.
Yeah, that shit's traumatizing. I still remember the people who teased me too, like
too.
the names. That's crazy, and they didn't think about that at all.
Nah.
Toxic.
That's what
Kyle
I'm
Reeves,
saying.
fuck you.
His name was Kyrie?
Kyle Reeves.
Oh, Kyle Reeves.
Light skinned dude with the good hair.
Ah.
he had it early too, but he knew he was better than anybody. He played football. Nigga had abs in the 6th grade.
He was getting all the girls.
Yeah. yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Some
traumatizing
people
as fuck.
bloom early.
That's what I realized. Like looking back, the difference between me and like a lot of some of those dudes that I grew up with is that they blossomed earlier and they had more confidence at an early age.
Right.
And they knew they were more
They were
self-aware.
aware. About to say they were more aware of themselves.
They were
Self-aware.
more aware of themselves at an earlier age. Like it's funny because at that age, like for me, I didn't even realize like I was like mad skinny and shit. I used to
I
have.
feel like I gained confidence like 2 years ago.
Like that still counts.
Yes, but
Nothing
our
wrong with
guest has now arrived.
Welcome.
Hello.
We have water set up for you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Gotta stay hydrated.
I feel like am I doing this right?
You're doing it right, yes.
Your glasses are so dope.
They're so cute.
Oh,
I
thank
really
you.
don't
Never
actually
seen
don't like that
those.
style, but seeing it on you, it really goes well.
Oh, thank
That's the first
you.
time I've seen it. I'm like, oh,
That's
that's so
tough.
I
cute.
feel like because I have a watermelon head.
No,
It just works
don't
that
say
way.
that. I have a light bulb head. It is what it is.
Right?
Damn, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but
You're a peanut head.
yeah. So please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, I'm Tokie Renet. I'm from Houston, Texas. Also seen on VH1's Black Ink Crow.
Have you done a podcast before?
Nope.
Yay!
Why do we
Yo,
keep getting
I
people
get
the
excited
first
when
time in the
people say
podcast?
That's
we're there
tough.
first.
That's
We've
crazy.
been popping a lot of podcast cherries.
Yes.
Word.
First time for everything.
Do you listen to podcasts in your free
Welcome,
time?
welcome.
Sometimes, just depends.
Did you do your due diligence to listen to this podcast before coming?
I've listened. You guys are intense.
Oh.
So
It
you'll
can be
know
sometimes.
that.
That's
like,
why I was asking. I was like, what are we going to be talking about?
Right,
like,
right.
I need to be.
Well, you.
I want to be prepared.
Right.
so you know that like I'm like the sweet one out of the group. Like they're
This
kind of
guy.
aggressive
Lying
and
to
like
This
you.
guy.
problematic.
He's the petty podcast.
lying.
Yeah.
I am a petty podcaster. How was your commute here? Was it smooth or were you? Really late?
The trains are a little crazy at night in New York, so you know, it wasn't bad though.
How was New York treating you otherwise?
Weather-wise?
Otherwise.
Oh,
like in general,
otherwise
yeah.
good. I was about to say weather-wise, it's bipolar, but
That too, yes.
And you live in both Houston and New York, or are you just
Yeah.
visiting?
both.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Dual residence.
Word. So I kind of want to get into, for starters, like your art. And I want to know specifically when your relationship with art began. Did it begin in Houston? Did it begin in New York? Or how did your relationship with art begin?
It began in Houston primarily. Like when I was younger, like just growing up, I just was kind of reckless with everything. Like the way my mother describes it to me, she said that I just would draw on everything. Like it didn't matter what it was. And primarily like, like your bed comforters.
Mm-hmm.
She thought something was wrong with me, but I would draw underneath it. Like I would go under the bed, and some kids like read under the blankets. I would draw, like tag it. So when she would wash it, she would be like, "What is this? Oh my god!"
That's hilarious.
And then one of my mom's friends was like, "Give that girl some paper and some color pencils. She's gonna be an artist." And that was
Right.
that.
Wow.
That was that.
And it just started with like little doodles and transition into more abstract pieces? Or when did the abstractness begin? do you
The
think?
abstractness actually began like a year ago, maybe like a year or two ago, and I was like really, really depressed and like trying to figure myself out. Like what am I doing with my life? And I was putting a lot of pressure on myself as an artist. Like just being extremely self-critical and just like, oh, I'm in my late 20s. I wanted to be here. I thought I was gonna be doing
We
this,
were
and
just having this conversation.
Yeah,
Literally,
and
just
that's
a few
so
minutes ago.
crazy.
when you're an artist or musician, you're like,
Yes.
you try and get all that detail. And I was like, you know what?
Yes.
Can you cuss?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I was like,
absolutely.
fuck it. I
Yeah.
was like, man, I'm gonna splash this paint here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna smear this, and that's art. I'm gonna leave it.
Was it kind of like a cathartic release for you? Because that sounds like you've had a lot of aggression and like anger that you were
Like
just
you
like.
broke through a boundary or
Yeah,
something.
like,
Yeah,
you're like,
it
"Fuck
was. It was because I think that in the Black community right now, there's a lot of pressure on Black artists where we feel like we have to like tap into this Afrocentric type of style just because of what's going on in our community. So there's that pressure you get on Instagram. It's hashtag Black Girl Magic, hashtag support Black living artists, hashtag all this stuff.
Yeah.
You see all these Black artists getting their shine like on the Shade Room. They do that thing. And it's just like, man, that art is like Black girls with the afros with sunflowers in it. It's Nipsey Hussle portraits, all this stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like, dang, I just want to get this
Create.
little aggression out and just
Yeah.
create a little bit. Like, damn.
Isn't that a testament to
Some
like us still kind of
expectation.
being backwards? Like we have to do a certain thing a certain way to be fully accepted by us?
Yeah, like damn, like I just want to be an artist, but I feel like you kind of get knocked. Like, oh, you're not expressing your Blackness. So what kind of artist are you? Oh, you're one of the weird ones. That's what it is. And nobody
Anything
wants to
different
be
is
that
labeled as
weirdo.
weird.
Oh, I don't like that stigma. I don't like that. I feel like because you know, if you're truly an artist, you can't put a cap on what you want to create. Your substance is your reflection of how you perceive life.
Yeah.
And then we as consumers shouldn't have those expectations on those artists that we admire, because then it's like you're boxing them
You're
in, and that's the
limiting them,
opposite
and
of what
that's-
you would expect from them or want.
Yes,
right?
and if you truly appreciate art, you know you shouldn't do that. Like, I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, like that definitely is something I've experienced too. But being a conscious rap artist is like I want to do more than just conscious rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm making a song about, you know, some shorty shaking her butt in the club, don't judge me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But I feel like
Can
you
I
kind
go
of
live?
did that to yourself. Like you're yeah, sure. You labeled yourself conscious rap, so people expect that.
I know, I feel that.
So growing up in Houston, was your family like entirely accepting of like your artistic endeavors at first, or did it take them time to adjust to the idea of you doing that?
Nah, they didn't get it. Like my mom is from Thailand and my dad's from Detroit. So like there was like this weird crazy gap, and everybody thought that like I was a military kid. They're like, how did they meet? But it was like, no, my parents were just Jehovah Witnesses. So like I grew up in that, and if you don't know about like that religion, it's very like boxed in. Like
You can
I
only
didn't-
associate with people from the hall.
I didn't know about SpongeBob. I didn't know about like rap music. I didn't know about so much. I was so naive. So like me expressing myself, it was like, oh, something's wrong with her. Or even if something was wrong, they're not going to take it that way. They're going to be like, oh, well, maybe we just need to like, you need to like pray some more. You know how like some people are like, you know, all you need to do is pray.
Yeah,
Like, that's the answer to it all. Like, nah.
How did that affect your psyche as a kid growing up? Like, did it make you feel comfortable within yourself?
No, you know what? I didn't know. Like I didn't know how closed off I was.
Because it was your normal. It was
Yeah.
you were
wa-
already normalized to it.
I didn't know that I was like different or like weird, because I heard that all the time. Because I was in my own little world until high school.
Mm.
You
Tell
went
us
to like
about
a public
that.
school?
Huh?
It was public?
Yeah, it was a public school.
Tell us about that.
And like my freshman year, like in high school, like in the South, like Katrina had just happened, like Hurricane Katrina. So we had people from like New Orleans and like Houston come together. So like I had like a clash of like, if you don't know how like black people are in New Orleans versus black people in Houston, it was like crazy. It was absolutely, that was like one of the craziest times like for kids, like I would say.
Right.
Because it was like pure chaos. Like everyone's in survival mode, and then they're trying to like be themselves while we're trying to just like get along, you know? And then you have like somebody like me, or I was just like, oh, hey guys, you know, what's up? And they're like, no, you're not a regular like black person. Like, what does that even mean?
I hate that. Oh,
Yeah,
What
yeah,
does that
yeah.
even
a
mean?
regular black person. Like,
I feel like the
what?
definition of that has changed over the years too. I don't know what it is now, but I feel like back then it was maybe like you only indulged in rap music or R&B, and you dressed a certain way.
It's constructed off of the stereotypes.
Yeah.
And I hate that because it's just like stereotypes don't fit across the board.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like growing up, it was like, you don't know who Dr. Dre is?
Oh,
You've never listened to The Chronic?
you're not black.
What? Yeah.
And it's like they don't know nothing about your upbringing, or else they'd understand why
Yeah.
you
Right.
don't know about Dr. Dre.
Crazy.
So high school was kind of when you broke free from your past a bit and your experiences growing up? Or was it maybe college? Or did you go to college?
I went to the Art Institute of Houston.
Okay.
Nice.
Break free. Can you define breaking free?
I guess, like, how can I say? Like, you were so trapped in what you were used to. When did you start to do different things to break you out of that norm?
Honestly, like when I was like my first year of high school was like really like traumatic. Without getting too deep into it, I like really just started experiencing life and like boys and other people and how they treat people not like in the Kingdom Hall. You know what I'm saying? You know, the world is crazy.
It is
and
crazy.
I'm walking into it like, oh, everything is
Naive.
just sunshine and rainbows. And they're like, nah, like, you know, people can tell when you're like vulnerable or weak, and people take advantage of stuff. And I think I really found myself when I was maybe like 16 or so, just through pure like aggression. Like I was just aggressive after a while.
Do you feel like that aggression was driven from kind of being, I guess, rebellious to your upbringing because you were, you were kind of, restricted? Did you feel like once you really saw what the world was, were you frustrated with the fact that you weren't necessarily ready to deal with it?
It was kind of like the opposite. I kind of was like, man, you know, if you guys are going to be crazy, I'm going to be crazier.
Oh.
I was like, I want to have fun. Like, and then I would grow up here and like, you know, those church kids are always the worst kids.
I was about to say, so, okay. Because my uncle's a pastor and his kids are crazy.
See? And I didn't get that. And I was like, what does that even mean? But it's like, oh, when you don't know no better, or when you were like held back, you know, you want to experience your life. Like, how are you going to really know how to like survive out here if you're not experiencing it?
No, facts.
You learn through experience.
Right.
So you can't tell me, you know, that fire is hot. I'm going to touch it to see. You know what I'm saying?
Just to make sure.
To make sure.
I definitely hear
What
that.
was going to college like for art? Did it help you like develop your own style?
Nope. I would suggest that, you know, with this day and age, you can go on YouTube. You can go on YouTube. You can get an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
You can get on Instagram and just copy your favorite artists and like create your own style off of that. You know.
Is it more book work than like actually practicing?
Man, I just feel like it's a bunch of foreign white people trying to tell you like,
What's beautiful and what's
yeah,
not.
what's cool and what's not, right? Like, man, there's only so many shades of green. Like, it's cool. Just let me figure it out. Like,
My biggest fear about art school was that it was going to turn, because I can draw too. So, like, when I was younger, everybody thought I was going to be an artist, but I didn't want it to feel like a job. And I feel like if I would have went to school for it, I would have been in a position where people were forcing me to draw.
yeah.
And that would have took away the one thing that made me happy at that age. It was just drawing, because that was before I got into music. And it was just like, that was my biggest fear. Did you ever feel like that? Like, did you ever feel like art was almost forced to be a regular thing, like an occupation rather than a passion?
I think I feel like that now. It turned into that
Pressure?
The pressure was like on.
And expectations.
Yeah, honestly, I think that after I like aired like on TV, I was like, oh my God, I can't imagine, like, because I don't want to stop doing what I'm doing, but I can't imagine going higher and feeling that pressure, because that pressure is intense. And I'm like extreme empath. I'm really sensitive. So when you have like people, you know, like commenting on your life, your art, your style, like, oh, this isn't art. Anybody
It feels
can
like
be-
somebody's picking you apart.
Yes.
I feel it right now.
Yes.
It's like somebody's
Yes.
picking at
Ooh,
you.
You
that's-
take it personal, even though it's constructive criticism, you're always going to take it personal, because it's something that for you is a personal piece of art. You know, you had a specific vision for that, and it's just like for somebody to devalue it because of their opinion, it's
Yeah.
just like, fuck you. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
I literally feel like all forms of art are just our emotions transferred to another medium. So
Yeah.
it's just another part of our being being transferred to that.
I agree.
I agree with
It's
that.
like an energy transfer.
Right. So how do you maneuver through that? Like that pressure, those expectations, those comments, those negativity, that hate.
Like if I start feeling too much pressure, and like some people will, like, I'll start a series and I'll be like, oh, this is a 5-piece series, and I'll get through like part 2, and people start putting pressure on me like, when is number 3 coming out? And then I'll be like, you know what, I'm about to write a whole song. I'm about to start painting on some clothes. I'm about to drop a T-shirt. Like, I gotta express myself in a different way, because that pressure is too much. Now I'm not enjoying it. Now I'm like, dang, maybe should I have waited until I finished the whole thing? And that's what I'm learning now with social media. Like, maybe it might be best to actually just take space and then finish what you're doing and then put it out there.
Yeah, put it out when you already have like everything prepared.
Social media will give you so much anxiety.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the way.
I think when it
agree.
becomes like a job, like it becomes like a responsibility. Like when you have a certain amount of followers, I feel like I imagine that it becomes like the need to have to keep up and post because you have a following. So people look to you as like their beak of escape for the day.
To meet
and that's
their
pressure as well.
expectations.
Yeah.
I agree.
I've been reading a lot about like energy cords and like how people can like attach to you. It's like I might have never met you guys before, but if I'm following and I'm listening to the podcast, I might grow such an attachment to you all that I really feel like I know you. And I think when you have the following or when you have so many different eyes on you, you can genuinely feel that. You can feel it. So you have to take space. It's like when you scroll on Instagram and you see like unwarranted posts, you don't want to see like another black person get shot or this, that. It's like you feel all that.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we're all connected, you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Is it simple?
Crazy.
Is it easy for you to just check out of social media? Or do you?
No, I actually think it's in my muscle memory, like in like in my thumb. I'm not even gonna lie about that. I can't even front. Like
You're actually on IG Live now, so you're definitely not tuned
yeah,
out.
see,
Damn.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's addictive.
It's a thing. Like
yeah.
I'm bored. I automatically am on my phone. I'm
Scroll.
scrolling.
Have you ever done this? Have you ever been on the train and there's no damn signal, but you still hop
you-
on? Yes. I still hop on Instagram and I'm like, wait. Why is this shit not loading? I'm like, oh shit, I'm on
Keep
the
looking
train.
at the same photos. That
Yes.
yeah.
Yo,
Oh,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
have a
That's
problem.
sick.
I was doing that right before I got here.
Damn.
I've done it.
I'm walking here like documenting. Like
I've done it.
see.
Can we rewind a bit
Addictive.
though? Like, how did you come to New York and then start Black Ink, or were you already in New York? And how did that happen?
I get asked that so many times, and I've never answered that. Okay, so actually, they contacted me. So I was actually contacted, and I thought it was like a scam at first. I was like, this must be a joke.
What sign are you?
Gemini.
Oh, I was gonna say Cancer, so
Both
I
my
was off a
parents
little
are
bit.
I'm Cancer cusp.
Okay.
I'm like super sensitive.
Okay.
People
Yeah.
normally don't guess Gemini, but yeah.
Can I ask when's your birthday?
23rd.
Okay. My parents both have the same birthday. It's May 30th.
Oh, word?
Nice.
Go ahead and say your sign. I know you want to say it.
I'm a Leo.
I'm Leo rising, and we get along.
Yes. My best friend is a Gemini. She's super cool.
What's your sign?
Cancer.
Cancer.
I'm a Libra.
A Libra?
Yeah.
See, we get along. We get along. I always have Cancer homegirls. Like,
Yeah.
you need a cry session?
Yes.
Hit me up.
But so they reached out to you through email or text or phone call. How did that happen?
Through Instagram.
A DM?
They hit me in the DM. They slid in through the DM.
I feel like so many people
shady.
getting opportunities like through DMs these days. Like Instagram really be doing that. Yo.
I'm still waiting for my DM from somebody. All the Hennessy we drink on this damn show, where the Hennessy sponsorship at? You know what I mean?
That's
Side
next.
note, I
Coming.
posted a video of me bumping to This Is How We Do It, and I tagged Montel Jordan, and he responded.
Really?
I swear to God, he
Wait, he has
responded.
Instagram?
That's what I said.
Wait, what the
I
hell?
was like, what the fuck
Were you
doing?
fanning? Like,
I was just like, yo, I love this nigga. I'm like, yo, I love this song. He sent me, but he didn't use no words. He just sent me the little arm and the 100
Oh
sign.
my God, that's fake as hell. Get him on the pod, yo. Keep posting Montel Jordan videos and get him on the pod.
But I was just happy he acknowledged it. I'm like, oh, that's what's up.
So you had that natural aversion and thinking it was like a fake scam thing. Like, what made you answer?
oh my God. You know what? Like I was saying about like energy and being sensitive, every single fiber, strand, cell in my body said, don't do it. And you know what I would say, because I feel like I really went through it, like, is trust your intuition. And I'm not saying that hasn't opened doors for me, because I'm sitting right here right now looking at all you lovely people. But yo, like, I always tell people, like, I don't play on the devil's playground. That's what I'll say. That's it. I've never experienced anything like it before. So, and I always say there's no amount of money, there's nothing that can make me, nope, not going to do it. Not sell myself. If that makes
You're
sense.
gonna stay true to yourself and your integrity.
Yeah, I would really want to bring light to that, like for Black people, because or just people in general, because people think like you get money, you get a little fame, and it solves everything, and it doesn't, because that all comes at a price, and it's honestly what you're willing to give up to get more. I would hear all the time, this is a give-take industry, this is a give-take industry, and I'm like, that can get in your head.
Yeah.
But when you hold on to yourself and you're like, no, I am not for sale.
Keep that in mind. I feel like that's something you got to hold on to, because you're probably going to continue to be more successful. And I really hope that you stay with that, because that's genuine.
Yeah.
Have you given anything, like a part of yourself, to have this life?
Man, someone just asked me that. I would say acting niggerish. I would say that, because that's not me. But I know that they would need that from me. And so I'd be like, man, I'm about to drink all this fucking Henny.
And start acting crazy.
I'm about to do it.
Yeah.
I'm about to do whatever they want, because I want out. And I don't care what I got to do to get out. I want out the scene. I don't want to talk to security. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't care. Get your cameras out my face. I was going full Kanye spazzing. Like, it just, I would say it all the time. Like, I feel like an animal. Like, and especially when you don't get it, when you don't understand what they're doing in the beginning, it's like tough. I think Cardi did 1 year, and like she said the same thing. Like, nah,
Damn.
you don't want that.
Do you feel like they were just like putting you on display to act a certain way?
It's funny because I heard from different people. They were like, you were the wild card because they knew. Because like what I was told, honestly, like we want to be like real frank and just like bring that wall down. They were just like, we're looking for somebody who's more like charming and more genuine and earthy. And I was like, that is me. And then I was like, hold up. Something not right. I was like, something not right. And then I was like, man, maybe I should go out there and just see what the offer is. And then it was just like, I was like, zoop, zoop. I was falling into every single hole. And then after I was off camera, off screen, people would be like, damn, they're just giving you the New York shiggy, just doing you dirty. Like, I was like, damn. And I keep falling for everything. I'm listening, and then I'm like doing what they're telling me. And it's just, I'm the one triggering everybody now because I'm taking direction, and I'm like, what do I need to do? And that's the hardest thing to figure out.
Damn.
So it's like if you have a boss and you go to work and they're like, clean the floors. But in this place, they're like, clean the floor. But everybody else knows you're not supposed to clean the floor, and I'm cleaning the floor. Now somebody's mad at me for cleaning the floor, and now we fighting about cleaning the floor. I'm just doing what I was told. Then I'm looking at the people like, hey, production, I thought you told me to. And then y'all are doing this to me, like y'all
Not looking, no eye contact.
No eye contact. I'm like,
The setup.
it's a setup.
That's Aggie. That's so Aggie.
Oh my God. I was like,
Were you familiar with the show prior to like signing your contract?
yeah. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm freaking lovable. I could just go up in there, give me some Southern charm. It'll be cool.
What were your expectations going to? Did you think you would be able to maintain yourself on camera?
Yeah.
And you were totally wrong.
I was wrong within like an hour of being there. I was like, how did they get me in 20 minutes? In 20 minutes from the first time I popped up on screen and said, surprise, bitches. Because they were like, you're funny. They're like, just be you, but be like Samuel Jackson funny. And I was like, well, what would Samuel Jackson say? I was like,
so
Hey, motherfuckers.
that's what I said first. And they were like, don't say motherfucker, say bitches. And I was like, okay. And then from that moment, they were like, we got it. I was like,
Set up.
I was like, we got one.
No.
And then I was like, so can I do that again? And then everybody's ignoring me. I was like,
That's funny as hell.
fuck.
That's funny as hell.
You had no anxiety going into like a camera, like a big ass camera, I'm assuming. Many big ass cameras. No?
It honestly felt like really natural. And I'll say that it felt really natural because like, I would say because Instagram,
social
Twitter,
media.
whatever, I have a YouTube channel. I've had like multiple ones. It's like the same thing. And like the people are just people. Like the cameramen are like not there. It's like you try and ask them questions because I would always be like, hi guys, what's up?
Yeah.
And they would just be like, and they'd be laughing like, she don't even know.
Wow.
You've had to be vulnerable at times on the show. Was that hard for you?
It's not hard when you don't know what's going on.
I just meant in terms of showing the world that side of you. Maybe some parts of your personality you don't really want on display.
Oh man, because I can't go back and take back what was filmed because like people can Google it and like look at me spazzing the fuck out. And it was hard after. I was like really suicidal. I was like in a really, really dark place. Like I'm not even gonna front because I think that when you have I guess I'll say company, when you have a group of people that want to exploit or use your real pain or trauma and they're trying to get it in a way you might have already healed from it, but they need you to dig deep and you don't realize that.
So it could be raw again.
They want to trigger you, yeah.
Yes, you will be triggered. You'll be triggered in every single way. And I learned my triggers all last year. And I would say that God does things in mysterious ways, universe, whatever you want to call it. And I think that experience helped me pinpoint all my triggers because everything was a trigger for me, like security. Even if they just grab me, if you're not used to that, you don't know when you're going to get grabbed. You don't know who's going to yell at you. You don't know what the person across from you has gone through. You don't know if that girl's gone through what you've gone through. Now she's triggered by what you said. Now y'all are fighting. You don't know. So that's that. And then once everything starts popping off, it's like, damn, like, what do you do to stop it? They're not going to stop it. They're going to keep egging it on. They're going to keep you revved up. I was hyperventilating. There's like 4 whole full hours of footage of me spazzing from what y'all saw. I was like really like like I can't, like whatever y'all want to talk about, I can't. Whoever y'all trying to bring here to fucking make me talk to, or I can't. You want me to confront whoever on camera? I can't. Like I can't do it. This is so dirty. It's so wrong. I was like, nah.
Have you had like how do your parents or your family feel about like your experiences on that show? Were they accepting of the idea of you being on it at first?
What was so crazy is like my mom's like little Asian lady, and like she didn't like get it. She's like, all these people are so nice. That's the first thing she said to me. And my stepfather, he's like white. They got here, and like my mom was like, oh, these people are so nice. They offered us coffee. I was like, you were impressed by the damn coffee?
Oh my God.
I'm crying, like, what? Oh. And then she got it after she had to film a scene with me, and like there were so many scenes that they didn't even like air because it was too much. And the network, thank God for VH1 actually, because they were like, damn, this is so intense that we can't air it. Like we can't, it's not right. And I was grateful for that. But my mom, within like filming for like 20 minutes, just like me, she's bawling. She's like, how did they even do that? I was like, now you see. Welcome to my life, and I've only been here for 30 days. Because all that craziness happened within like a month of me being here.
Oh, wow.
And so I had to live that out. I had to stick it out. I had to interact with my cast members, which I'm very grateful for, like them being like real people. But I can understand how the industry can make you kind of like, get away from me.
Bump shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Then when the show was airing and when I was oh man, I would be so depressed. No makeup, no nothing, thinking I'm just regular. Overnight, walking. Hey, yo, I saw you talking to your mom last night on TV. Keep your head up, baby girl. What?
So they would capture that without you knowing?
No, this is just me walking around after the show, because you got to deal with that. They don't prepare you for that. You're not prepared for being on TV, being raw, being real. I'm not like I'm not C's, I'm not Sky, I don't have that. So like I don't have security. So walking around, people just walk up to you and just, I would get it all the time. Girls like, I wanted to say hello, but I thought you were gonna like fight me. So like, I'm like, what? Like then I got that energy on me. I'm thinking like, damn, what did I get myself into? What am I doing?
I feel like that would affect my psyche. Like if people have a perception of me that's completely wrong based off what they saw from a 30-second clip on the show, like.
Yeah.
Does that make you more standoffish when you see people? No. Because I see you're very friendly regardless of that.
No, it doesn't. Because I laugh at it now.
Okay.
I laugh at it now because it's like, man, I know what's me and what's not.
That's
like,
important. How
could you? And like when people, that was the first thing people would say to me. It's like, you don't seem like that person. I'm like, because I'm not. Let's keep it going. You want a high five or are we hugging right now? Which one is it? Like,
was this life like on your vision board ever? Like, did you ever imagine this life for yourself growing up?
I feel like low key, I was always in denial because I feel like, everybody has dreams like, oh, I want to be a singer. I want to be a this, that. And I'd be like, nah, not me. And I wouldn't imagine it happening like this way. So it was something I would never manifest like out loud, but like deep down subconsciously, like, yeah, I would want that. Like who wouldn't, but you don't know what it takes to do it.
Like you have fans. Like I feel like that's like a different responsibility that you have now, like in just life. Like I can't imagine, I mean, if we have people listen to this show, but having people who will come up to you in public, that seems like a lot of, it sounds scary, honestly, for me.
Yeah, and I feel like I've been really mindful because I feel like I could, like, it's been 5 months since I last filmed. And I feel like I've been really mindful about what I've posted online because some of the messages you get are so nasty. So it's like, for me, it's been like real strategic. Like, let me make sure that everything I do is super, super authentic. Even if it's, really raw or I'm being really vulnerable, just let it be me. Because I can't have anything else out there because I want to take my career somewhere and I want to polish this shit up. Period. And then ever since I started having that mindset, more opportunities have been coming because I feel like I was blocking myself. Like I was blocking myself because I'm believing what I'm seeing on TV now. Because so many people are believing that that's me.
And that's the self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yes. So I had to unblock myself and say like, nah, what do I want? For real.
That takes a lot of mental strength. That's not easy.
It isn't.
That's not easy. I commend you on sticking to who you truly are.
Appreciate it.
So like what is birth, I guess, more stress on your mind? Is it the idea of having to show up in film, maybe not getting a certain piece done? Like,
say that again? What is
like what adds more stress on your minds? Like, is it the idea of having to show up and have, like, you have to abide by your contract and be on set by a certain time, or is it maybe your own personal work that you do? Like, maybe not, maybe you're trading time to film and not getting stuff done that you actually want to get done. Like, what adds more stress to your mind? Is it
both? I would say, like, my whole first year of filming, like, I wasn't able to create because I was so clouded with, like, all that drama, because it was so toxic. And if you're not used to having drama in your life, and now you have this drama that's kind of fake, kind of real, and it feels very real. Like, if somebody punches me in the head, that was real. If somebody, you know what I'm saying? If I punch you back, that's real too. If I got crazy on you, that was real too. Like, you know, it was, I couldn't create though. That it was blocked. I was blocked. Like I said, I was like, man, this isn't worth it. Like, I don't know what to do.
It completely stifled you. Like,
yeah, it was blocking my blessings. I feel like the blessings are there, like, but you can only receive what you're open to. And if I have this big negative cloud over me, like, I'm gonna be stressed. I'm not gonna create. I think last year I only painted like 4 things, like the whole year, and that is not me.
Wow.
Did that develop any depression? I mean, you mentioned, like, you had suicidal thoughts. I'm not sure if it was around that same time, but
yeah, I was like, man, I didn't know who I was for a second, because I was like, am I an actress right now? Am I really that person? Like, because when you got to go back and watch it, if you're not used to seeing yourself on TV, then it's just not even you. It's just like, damn, like, yeah, I was depressed. I was anxious. I was like falling down this crazy ass hole fast, and nobody could help me out of it, because that's not their job to help you out of it. Their job is, if you are depressed, hey, come to work so we can film that depression. Hey, if you're like really feeling sad, you know, come on, bring it. Like,
that's so crazy.
And is painting and stuff like one of your escapes from that, and you couldn't do that, so you were kind of just stuck?
Oh yeah, I was stuck, and I was eating at mom's like kitchen, like eating milkshakes and stuff. Like, I feel like I turned to food. It was like the wrong thing to do, but it felt so right. I was like, you know, I'm gonna just do these face masks, get pedicures, and eat this food, and, you know, like, take a real good nap. You know,
you were just taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I was like, right now, this is genuinely self-care, because they're beating me up.
Damn.
Has your artistic style evolved because of the process of doing this show, or is it just like a natural progression?
Oh my God, I think it's gotten kind of worse.
What?
Because I feel the pressure. Like, people are like, what are you doing right now? Or like, when I travel, like, what are you doing? Or they're really paying attention to the work. Or like, people have dogged my art so bad in the beginning, because I didn't understand what I was getting myself into, that they think like, oh, she's not an artist, or she's not this, she can't do that. And then it's like, since I was depressed, there was nothing to look at. So then it was just like, oh man, I can't even show up and prove. And I felt like that was the point that I wasn't supposed to. I was just supposed to keep being me. So, you know.
You never got to a point where you actually started believing some of this criticism, did you? Like, you
Yeah, I did.
You did?
It got really hard when I would get online, and like, I think your hurt hits different with this shit, like, when it's real. So like, they touched on my trauma, and that was very, very real. And even though they didn't get the full real story, like, whatever they were trying to do with it, because I was like, you guys are evil, sick bastards. But when I got online and I would see people that I knew, like people from my high school or family members that I don't even talk to, and y'all are dogging me out, you are making fun of me. You're making fun of me because I was assaulted as a kid. I was like, oh my God. And when you get on your phone and you're not, like, let's say in regular life, I would get, 100 likes here. Then I get on my phone and I'm tagged and stuff. I got these crazy posts, people stating their opinions. I'm on these reality TV show blogs, comments, just hundreds of comments just going in on me. Fuck this fat bitch, SpongeBob built refrigerator juice box looking ass girl. Like, what? Damn, I've been looking in the mirror like, you know what? I am kind of shaped a little funny, but you know what? You gotta learn how to. Some stuff you gotta like. It's like you gotta take it. Like you gotta learn how to like filter that, and it's not easy.
No, that's not easy at all.
They don't talk about that stuff, because I think some people just say, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna get surgery, and I was like, no, that's not gonna be me.
Damn, I definitely respect that, yo.
Yeah.
I feel like on the outside looking in, people would say, "Oh, that's what you signed up for, so you should have expected that." How do you feel about that?
You've gotten that reaction?
Oh, we all get it. Oh man, it's so crazy, and it kind of just makes me like, I'm like scoffing, like, yo, like you don't even know, like shut up. But that's the point. They want that group of people to just booty chatter. They don't want them to talk about it. Like they want people to talk.
Wow.
Isn't that true to some degree, though? I mean, the show was already in existence prior to you coming on. So you may have, if you have seen it, you may have known or assumed that they get that same type of reaction. So going into it, I mean, in my mind, I feel you could be surprised, but you don't have to accept it, but you should still be aware. Should have, or I guess, been aware that happens.
Yeah, I feel like that's why cast is not friendly to newcomers. I feel like off camera, I was really sensitive to like what I was feeling. Because I was like, I got this opportunity, and I did not come from the projects. I didn't come from where you guys come from. And I felt like that was a big deal for them because I'm walking into what they've built. Off of what they've sacrificed. And here comes this girl, bubbly. Well, hey, guys, what's up? And they're just like, well, they're just like, no, it's not going to happen that way. You're going to have to get rocked. You're going to have to get your face rocked in just a little bit. Something. You're going to have to earn your stripes. That's just what it was. And it was just like, damn, like, so you telling me that I walked into this, I'm going to have to get beat up, talk about my deepest, darkest pain, and be cool with it, and be on TV, like, be cool with it. I don't have no friends. Y'all are not my friends. Like, my family's not here. I'm losing friends back at home because they're jealous. Oh, I forgot about that. You lose people because you reach this status and they don't even know what you're going through.
And I bet you've probably dealt with people that said you changed, but really they were the ones that changed how they treat you.
I had a friend who flew out here for I don't know what, but she flew out here. I was filming and she was like, "I'm here." I said, okay, I'm working, and I'll hit you up after. It just so happened that day that production they were like, put your phones up. Nobody gets their phone. Because we weren't getting stuff done because everybody, This person, I told her, sorry, I couldn't meet up with you. After that, she blocked me on everything. Known this girl for so long. But I don't know what she flew out here for. And when I think about it, I'm like, you flew out here.
To get on camera.
You just, yeah, that was it. And I was like, dang.
Trying to get some clout.
Yeah, I was like, dang.
So in a way, that kind of revealed who she really was then.
Yeah, it started happening like that. After that, I just started seeing all kinds of people fall off. And I was like, man, that shit hurts.
They're showing their true colors.
Yeah, it hurts way different.
Wow.
Are you like, I guess, willing to create new friendships and new relationships, or do you fear that so much, like that people's intentions and not knowing what they really want?
No, you know what? I'm really like, man, trust your intuition. I'm really like, I always say like your stomach is like your second brain. And I always had weird feelings about some of the people that were around me. And I feel like a lot of people were always around because they were waiting for me to pop off on something like, oh, she's multi-talented. She can do this, that. When are you going to blow up? But I was so gentle with myself because of what I've gone through in my past. I was like, man, this, I don't want to be like a female like Kid Cudi. I love Kid Cudi, but I didn't want to have that rage and that anger in whatever I do. I want to show the brighter part of it. And I think people around me were like rushing that. So when they saw me just randomly pop up on TV, they were like, what the fuck? How did you do that? It wasn't how. It was just, it just fell in my lap. I tell people that all the time. I guess it was for me. So.
That sounds super organic and it just literally just happened. I thought there was like a screening process, sent your resume in for casting.
No, they just hit me up.
Did you have an audition tape?
They just, you know what they did? They just asked me, like, they called me. They're like, hey, we would like to, like, Skype with you. I was like, okay, cool. And I made the lady laugh so hard. She was like, what did she ask me? She was like, what do you think about Caesar? And I was like, you know what? He looks like he smells like walnuts and suede. And she started laughing so hard, like, what? And I was just like, yeah, he just, you know how some people just look like they smell nice. And that was all I had to say about it. And she just was like, you know what? Let me just keep talking. She was just like, she was so like stuck after that. I was thinking like, man, I just blew it. I totally blew it. And then the next thing you know, they were like, hey, we're going to fly you out.
Wow.
That was that.
Walnuts and suede does not smell like doesn't sound like it would smell good at all.
I just couldn't. That's the first thing that came to mind. I was like, what? That's why I was like, I ruined this.
So were you were posting a lot of your work on your Instagram? Like, what was it that attracted them to your profile?
Oh, I had a real life tattoo apprenticeship with a very, very well-known, amazing tattoo artist.
Back in Houston.
Yeah.
How'd you get that?
Just, she liked my art.
Simple as that.
I think that when other Black people see it and they're just like, they want to know, like, hey, what's up with you? Like, why aren't you doing this harder? And then you have people believe in you, like, all right, I'll help you out. And then once I got this opportunity, she was like, I can't have you underneath me anymore. So I was like, so it was crazy because I had just quit. I was working actually like at a call center, and I was like, I hate my job. So I can't do art like I want to. So I just quit. I just up and quit. I was like, I'm gonna be a tattoo artist. Got the apprenticeship, and literally within it was like weird. Like 2 weeks later, I got hit up by them. It was so crazy.
So like, what was her reason for not having you under her anymore?
I think it's like a respect thing. Just being real honest, like within the Black community, within tattoo artists, I think Black ink gets like the thumbs down because it's like that's not a really good representation of what a real shop is. And I think tattoo artists get offended by that. I feel like it's a mixture of being offended and like a little bit of jealousy. Because they think, oh, our shop would be way more fun than that. But they don't understand, like, this is a production. This is VH1. This is, come on, do your research. Like, you can just research a little bit about reality TV and see what it is and what it's not.
I'm still kind of confused what reality TV is and what it's not. Like, I don't know when does reality start and when does it end?
I'm about to say that's the irony of reality TV, because I feel like
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, I feel like they fabricate and create their own reality. Like how you said they have so many different parts that they edit out that would reveal certain parts of your struggle, and they kind of just create like the perception that they want to project to the audience, and it's manipulative.
And I feel like you can't get a full understanding of the people on the show in like a 30-minute time block. So I'll never know the real truth of this person if you're just showing me a 5-minute clip of them crying in the corner.
And that's why I live by like, I might be a fan of somebody's work, but I'll never say if I like or dislike that person until I meet them.
Right.
Because like people like, I love Drake's work, I love Jay-Z's work, but can I say I love or hate them? I don't know them. I never sat down and smoked a blunt with them. I'm saying though, you don't know him though. You don't know.
That's why I was saying about the energy cords. You can attach to somebody and not have even met them, but you can rock with them so hard you really believe
that you know them.
Them.
With them
and then when you meet them, it could be the total opposite of what you thought.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I've seen the show. I've seen you on the show. I had no expectations. I did have a feeling that you would provide a good conversation and good energy, which you have so far. But I'm curious about like your relationships with other cast members. Like, do you have a particular relationship with one of them that's, I guess, more standout than the rest? Or?
Yeah, I honestly I couldn't really knock anybody on that show.
Right.
I really have a lot of respect for everybody on it, because when you really get to know them and what they've really gone through, like, I feel like what you saw of me was like, that was really, really raw, but it's way more intense. It's so just favoritism. I love Kitty so much. I love Kitty so much.
Right.
That is just, she just gets it. She's just a real genuine ass woman, like, for real, like, real genuine. Like, she's just dope. She just is.
Is there one piece of knowledge maybe you gained from one of the castmates or even someone on set to help you get through the process of filming or just life that you can recall?
Yeah, that they don't care. That, like, this is a business. I think that one thing that I would say that I've, as an empath, like walking around in life, I was always taking things personal.
Facts.
I can relate.
And
Same.
I had to gain trust with my security, because I was with them. Like, they're always there. Like, even still to this day, they're like, Tokie, where you at? What you doing? What you need? You know what I'm saying? And I had one of the main security guards. I would always get offended because he would always be like, ma'am, ma'am, ma'am. And it would always be in the midst of when I'm really, really drunk and really, really irritated. And I would just hate it. Like, stop calling me ma'am. Just cut it out. Just call me Tokie. Just make me feel like a person, because they would be like, my job is to make sure the product is safe.
The product. They're objectifying you.
You guys, I gotta, you guys gotta be careful, blah, 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 blah. Ma'am, this, sir, that. And that's just how he addresses everybody. And then one day I felt really, really bad because I think I cussed him out or something. He didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve it at all. And then went up to him and I said, hey, I want to apologize to you. And he just very calmly looked at me. He was like, I don't take anything personal, ma'am. That was it. And I was like, that stuck with me so deep. I was like, he did it. It was so professional. Like, you know, I was sitting there resonating with it in the shower. Like, I need to apologize to this man. I feel so bad. I called him all kinds of things. Like, and he was just like, I don't take anything personal, ma'am. And was just cool. Had his little glasses on, like black glasses on.
He had the little wire
just,
in his
you know
ear.
what I'm saying? I was like,
It's all part of the job, man.
yeah. I was like, dang. And from that day forward, still was ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. All right. I was like,
That's him.
that's professional. Yeah. All right.
That's true professionalism right
Yeah,
there.
I learned that. I was like, damn, I'm so unprofessional.
Hey.
Yeah, I probably get fired on set day one, honestly.
People would tell me all the time, Tokie, nobody is your friend here. Okay? Even if they acting like they're your friend right now, they are not your friend. And then it took like until I was off camera to be like, oh, wow, these girls really like me. Because we were started bonding.
This is super random, but like you've been around cameras and not noticing. But did you notice there was a camera there the whole time? Or are you just so used to just being in a room and not acknowledging cameras?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Okay, just making sure. How would you describe your style, if you could describe it in a few words? If
What
possible?
style? Like
your artistic style, I'm sorry.
I would say it's like abstract surrealism. It's like growing up, I was like really huge fan of like Salvador Dali, like the melting clocks. Have you seen that art?
Yes.
It's like a desert and like banana and like clocks like melting. And I was just like, wow, that's so crazy. Like, what was he on?
Some kind of psychedelic.
Maybe that's just how he
I need some of
felt.
that.
Maybe he just wanted to see what a clock looked like melting. Who knows, you know? And I was like, dang, so I can do anything with art, you know? So I feel that way. I feel like lately I've been like in this really like esoteric healing phase. So I draw a lot of like things that are like meditating right now. Kinda. I don't know.
Do you meditate?
I do. I did
How
it
often?
before. Anytime I start having anxiety, really. When I start feeling my chest get tight and I don't know why. I mean, I might be feeling you. I might be feeling you. I don't know. I gotta like really just take that
breathe.
deep breath and breathe and just remember, like, stay in the present moment, stay right here, because I know what it feels like to lose it. I don't ever want to feel that way again. And I think that a lot of people don't get that watching people on TV. How did, you know, some stuff looks so ridiculous. It's like, how did they get to that point?
Right. And as far as your style, like in terms of like creating a piece, when you sit down to decide I'm gonna do something today, what is your inspiration really drawn from? Being an empath that you feel so much, is it just strictly from the inside out, or is it just life, a conversation?
No, it's literally what I'm feeling in the moment.
And you just go.
Yeah, and if that moment is gone, then like that piece of art is probably like halfway done or never ever gets done. And I think that's the dope thing about having conceptual art. If you look into it, like, it's the concept that's beautiful, even if you've never finished the piece. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was the thought, the idea, and it might get finished, it might not, but that's what it was supposed to be. And that's art. That's why people look at things and say, that's what that is.
Because they're trying to capture the artist's train of thought when they were making that piece.
Yeah, and everybody gets impatient. Everybody. That's why when I see oil painters who paint like waves or water and like they really capture the detail, I'm like, damn.
That took so much effort.
I be thinking like, what do you do with yourself? Like, how? Like, what kind of coffee do you drink? What kind of music do you listen to? Like, when do you bathe? Like, I want to know. What do you eat? Do you eat? Are you what?
Because you know from being an artist how tedious it is when you're trying to be that detailed.
Man, I went to some gallery. It was this artist named Ron Muick. And his art, I walked into it, I was depressed because the art was depressing. This guy makes giant sculptures of like heads, body parts. And you walk up to it and you can see the pores. You can see hair follicles. Like, it's a dope exhibit. But I think that was like 10 years of his life. And on these little screens, they showed time-lapse videos of him working. He looked so sad.
Yeah.
He looked so sad. He was like in a little warehouse thing, but the work was just like insane to look at. And I think I was like, damn, that took you 10 years. But he's like so old, and now he's exhibiting, like, now his art's, you know, out there. Yeah, I was like, dang.
Yeah, so it took him 10 years to finish a piece. On average, how do you know when you're done with the piece? And on average, how long does it take you to finish one?
just depends. Depends on like if it's a commission piece. Like right now I'm working on solo gallery stuff, and like I don't even want to like post that work right now because I feel like it's gonna take me a few years. Like I wanna be like that. I wanna be like that artist that can sit there for 10 years. Excuse me, and like lose myself in the piece, not rush it because I gotta post online and I want some likes and I want to be at the next art event. I want to be at Basel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Showing my stuff. I want to be, the next fucking Basquiat or something.
Yeah. Minus the heroin.
That's very important and true.
I feel like a deadline is an artist's worst nightmare or worst enemy. It's like that deadline, any type of deadline, you put in a cap on how long I have to create this.
Yeah, it takes it takes the joy away.
I feel like that's why you should never put a date on anything. Just go until you're done.
Yeah. Except for if it's commission. Like I love doing commission work. It gets me paid, pays the bills, but it's like, dang, I got a month to do what? And people start saying crazy stuff, and it's like I got to bring that to life. I do it every time, but the process is so crazy.
It's draining.
Pulling that out, yeah.
It's draining.
Have you ever presented a piece to someone and they were just like, I don't think it's exactly what I wanted?
When I first started doing portraits, and this lady, I felt so bad because she was like, I'm a survivor. I've had heart disease, and I had to get a heart transplant, and I want a portrait of myself and my 2 daughters inside of my heart.
Wow.
With praying hands.
Okay.
I was like, all right, cool, got you, little mama. Like, we good. One of her daughters like 3, one of her daughters was like 10. And I like tried to paint the toddler's face. The teeth was the teeth was jacked up. The eye, one eye was like split bigger than the other. She gave me like her deposit for it, but she just simply messaged me back. She said, those don't look like my babies. I said, damn.
As an artist, can't you just be like, this is my vision.
That's my interpretation.
I mean, I could, but the whole thing was that she was not receiving. She had already given me the opportunity. I was already paid, but she never followed back up. It was like, I'm not hanging that in my house. I am not hanging that in my house. Whose child is that? Not mine.
That's funny as hell, yo.
Customer's always right.
Customer's always right.
Does the current climate of the country affect your creative process and just your psyche as a whole? I mean, you're from Houston, like guns are legal in the South. Like, just the idea of all these shootings are happening recently. Like, when you see these things on whether it be Instagram, Twitter, the newspaper, or whatever, if they still exist, does that affect you at all?
Sometimes. It just depends.
Do you consider yourself somebody who's politically inclined, or you separate yourself from
As
that?
an artist, I try not to, because I feel like there's artists that literally that's their job, that's what they do. Like they bank off of that. And I feel like as an artist, once you start voicing your opinion on that, I feel like you get a new level of like fans to chime in and chew your ass up. Yeah. So I honestly try and stay out of that. Even like there was an incident that just happened in Texas with 2 incidents. One, that dude in El Paso shot up
I heard about that.
the Hispanic people, like they were in Walmart. Then 2, the dude we have officers on the ponies, on the horses, and they basically like wrangled a black person and had him, like that's how they arrested him. Like it was 2 officers on horses, constable horses, I don't even know what to call those, and they had black dude on a rope, like walking him, like basically like
he was cattle.
Like he was cattle. Like protocol is if you're on like the pony, if you're on the horse, you call for the car to come arrest them. You don't put them in a damn rope.
Hell no.
And walk them. Like what? And and he was like this. It was like, it's stuff like that. It just makes me so angry, and I could chime in on it. And it's like I try and just post it on my Instagram stories instead of having my Instagram be like flooded like that. But like when certain things happen, I take that opportunity to use my platform for it. But sometimes it is overwhelming when I'm getting a mixture of like people saying, I hate you, I love you. And then they're like, oh, well, now I don't like you because of your view on this. It's like crazy.
So I was going to ask, like, with that, do you think it would work for you to just not read the comments or to not check them? I know it's not easy, obviously, because, everybody's like, if you're on social media, it's hard to ignore that. But do you think that would alleviate some of that pressure if you were able to create this barrier where you're just like, you know what, I'm just not going to read good or bad. I'm not going to read any of the comments.
Yeah, and I get like that. I get like that at times, and then sometimes it's like, dang, sometimes people want to network with you through your comments. If that makes sense.
No, it does. Absolutely.
And you have fans. Like I feel like a comment is like kind of the closest thing. I mean, I don't know if you check your DMs or anything like that, but that's like their gateway to you.
Yeah, and I want people to feel connected to me because I feel like I was so disconnected to the world on TV. I genuinely was. So
it's a double-edged sword. Yeah. It's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
That's tough.
And you're only going to get more popping, so
right.
I don't know if this interview will play a part in that, but I definitely see that for you. You mentioned Kid Cudi earlier. Is he like an influence of yours?
I love me some Scott Muscati.
That's so funny because my best friend who's a Gemini loves Kid Cudi.
I love Kid Cudi so much. Like when I did finally start learning about music, like outside of like my religion, it was like Pharrell, like NERD. Like I was the other side of like the black people that were like, dang, you like all that? Like when Tyler the Creator came out, I was like, I love him. And they were like, he is such a weirdo. I was like, yeah.
Do you like the Speed and Bullet to Heaven album by Cudi? A lot of people don't like that album.
You know what? What was on that album?
I don't remember. I just know a lot of people didn't like it when it came
See,
out.
that title doesn't even like strike a bell for me.
I'm
I'm not even going to lie to you.
I really remember that album being really bad. I still only like Man in the Moon like the most. Like it's like my favorite Cudi album. But do you have any other like influences or idols like either inside or outside of the art world that inspire you?
Man, so many.
You don't have to go through like a whole list, and maybe just a few. I was curious.
Man, like off top, I just keep on thinking Amy Winehouse. Like really, really big because she just like genuinely like didn't give a fuck. And I love hearing people talk about her. Like I was looking at some interviews of like Mos Def talking about her and how he was just like, she was just genuine. She didn't care. She'll drink you under the table. She'll roll a blunt with you. She just was doing her thing. She just didn't care. She just was like, I came here to do music. I want to do that. And she would voice herself. That was it. And I think she's a really good example of like how the media and fame can eat you alive and genuinely like kill you.
Yeah.
Damn.
When you think about it,
Yes.
there's so many stories like that, but hers has always stuck out to me in a way that was just like, wow, you did not deserve to go through whatever you were going through.
Do you kind of like identify with her like on a personal level in terms of like fame, the amount of fame, but like I guess the trajectory?
Yeah, because honestly, let's say hypothetically or shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know, while the show was going on, I could have really just been like, you know what, fuck all this. I'm going to be a bad bitch. I'm going to get my booty did and just, you know, I'm going to just skyrocket with it. You can, but at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you, you might not feel anything. You will disconnect from everyone and then be surrounded by people that you don't know. Like, how the hell how did I get here?
Damn.
I couldn't imagine that the life of like a star.
The way you're describing it is just like you're giving such a good insight because this is the honest side of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is the honest, the raw side of it. It's not sugar coated. Like it's so real.
It's
you know
not all rainbows and butterflies
it's
and money.
not.
I mean, it's money,
really, but it's so much that comes with it, and it's just like you do got to ask yourself, regardless of what facet of entertainment that you're in, if you're willing to go through that because it is a lot.
Yeah, I remember one of the first times I walked into one of the VH1 buildings, and they just really they were just like, we just like Tokie just because she's just her, right? But they didn't care, like that I'm looking crazy on TV because I'm like, it's TV, right? And I was doing a Christmas event, and I remember seeing my name, like, because it wasn't dealing with Black Ink Crew, but it was, for me, I was doing something for them in their office, and it was like underneath, what is that, the drag show? It's like the drag queen show.
Race?
Yeah, RuPaul's Drag Race. I was like doing stuff with them. I was like, damn, I can't believe my name's up there. I was just really looking at it like, is this real? And then you have people like, what do you want to eat? What do you want? Or I'm just like, oh, it's so weird. Like, I don't need anything. Like, I can get it my damn self. Leave me alone, Martha. Like,
I'm not really entirely sure how TV works, but I feel like one day the network and the company could decide, like, you know what, maybe we just want to move on from you. Do you ever feel like you need to do more on camera or even
no,
behind
that's
the scenes
happening right now.
To like have your contract extended?
Yo, that contract is binding. Contracts are binding. One thing I learned in this industry is it doesn't matter if you're on or off. If you're in the contract, you're in a contract.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I could die right now. I'll still be in that contract. Like they can do whatever they want with that footage. They
Can they like buy it out though? Like pay a certain amount of money to get you out of it, to get you out?
For what though? What if they need me? What if they need you?
But what I'm saying, what if they feel like they don't anymore, or maybe they feel like they want to find a replacement?
What they'll do is they'll just find a replacement. You'll still be in.
Because part of being
contract.
under contract means you're exclusively working with them, and you can't.
Yep. And there's nothing you can do. And a lot of people, what I experienced online is people saying like, how come every single time people get off the show or they're not filming, they want to dog the show? Because we're in the contract. And even still being in the contract, it's like you're still a human. You still want to express yourself. Like, I'm angry about what they did. I'm angry about how they made me look. I'm angry about them taking my pain and doing this. But how long are you going to hold on to that? You're not. You're going to express yourself and move on. Or hold it in and just let people keep talking. What do you want to do? I feel like that's why so many celebrities are like private.
Makes sense.
I get it.
I'm curious, like, what do you want your legacy to be? Like, do you want to be known forever as Tokie Renet, the VH1 star / artist, or reverse that, or something else?
No, because honestly, like, I played music on that show. I did art on that show. Like, they were trying to figure me out. Because I do feel like I do have a lot of talent, but I always wanted the music thing. And even when I first started like my career, I was on Baby Bash's album, and I learned really quick with that how scary that is, working with pop stars, and how if you don't know the industry, you will get duped real quick. And then I feel like the same thing happened, and then I was like, dang, like contracts are sticky. That's it. I would just want to be known as like just me, and whatever comes out of it. It could be music, it could be art. I feel like legacy is legacy, you know, like no titles, no nothing. It is what it is. Like whatever happens, because I try not to think about it too hard, but you can get sucked into a contract, like a bad one, and not even know it. Like I don't know if it was a rumor or not, but Kanye's contract, he just found out that like he can never retire.
Yeah. And I think I heard that too. Yeah,
he can never retire, bro. How did you miss that?
Yeah, right. Like what?
I think didn't he just get like ownership of his music too? I think recently. I think he didn't own it until recently.
Like how many stories you hear? Like Michael Jackson's story. They finally own their stuff from Sony. They break free, and then all of a sudden they're crazy. They're speaking out about it, and then they're like,
they're
like
same
gone.
thing with Prince.
Same thing with Prince, and I love me some Prince.
That's why I was a little worried about the whole situation with Chris Brown when RCA Records, he finally got his master. And then next thing you know, he's allegedly raped some girl in Paris.
Oh my God, I saw that. That was
a week later.
Yeah.
Like literally a week later.
Yeah.
Literally.
They don't care. And that's, I would say that because people don't get that once you're in this industry. Like you can be blinded by like a fancy car, chains, steak dinners, flights. But then when you step back at the scheme of things, you got to be calm and cool through that shit. And if you're not, once you start paying attention, you'll start freaking out. Like, I'm not in control of my life. And I only got a taste of it. I got a taste of what that feels like to not have control. Like, having my car, like, they know exactly where I'm at. They know where I'm going. They know when I got out. They know when I got in. They're watching me on the tracker.
It's creepy.
Security knows when I hit location. And then when I'm out there, oh, y'all are watching my Instagram to try and follow my life or my story. What am I saying? What am I not saying? What am I posting? What am I doing? Calling me. Oh, hey, who's that you're with? What's going on?
Damn.
Oh, you have a manager now? Oh, damn. Hold on. Let me call you back. Why? Oh, because you don't know what to do now because you can't take advantage. Like that's what that is.
Even that term, like the industry, it just sounds like really sinister and just dark.
Yeah.
From my perception.
Sounds like Big Brother.
I was getting really paranoid in there. I'm like a really big conspiracy theorist person.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Believe in aliens?
Huge.
You know what? I do. You know what? I'm sitting right next to one.
Oh.
It's true.
I'm an alien. I like that.
We're all aliens.
We're all aliens.
We're all aliens.
When you really think about it, it's like, look at our little GPS systems. And we fly in planes and shit.
We're definitely aliens.
Definitely aliens.
Humans, it's just something we made up that we call ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a conspiracy theory as well.
Oh shit.
I believe in Siberia. I don't know why I think Siberia, but I believe somewhere in the world, very far away from here, there is a lab underground where they control the weather.
I believe it.
It's called HARP, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, it has a name.
HARP.
Yeah, and in Houston, like in Texas, like I feel they play with it all the time because I feel like there's so many black people down there that they just don't care about, and I feel like they play with it all the time. Like when the last hurricane just hit us, Rita, like I had a townhouse, and like I don't even know how that bitch got flooded, and it was just like, where did this rain come from? Like how? And then it was like someone just turned a switch and turned it off. It was just like, what?
It be feeling like that.
I was like, how?
Being in the industry and just a woman of color and just the world, like, have you experienced like any racism?
Racism, sexism, yeah.
And how does that affected you? And how have you managed to maneuver through that and deal with that and accept that that is kind of our reality nowadays?
Honestly, like now it just makes me feel like, I hate using the word, it just makes me feel like, you know what, I don't want to be a bad bitch. I want to be a boss ass bitch. I'm going to speak my mind. You're not going to talk to me that way. It just makes me just step into like myself.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like some people really have the nerve, like men have the nerve to like try and like get in your head or think that they can take advantage, and it's just like, nah, like I see what you're doing there, but it's not going down that way today.
And it insults your intelligence, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's just like you really thought I was gonna fall for this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's there because these people have money. These people can offer all kinds of crazy stuff.
Of course.
And if you've never had it before,
They'll
oh
fall for
my
it.
God.
And that's why I definitely, wanted to coin the fact that you've placed so much value on yourself and staying true to yourself, because I think that's the only way you can combat that. Because I've come across people, what I'm saying, that I can tell, like, yeah, if somebody writes you a check, you're gonna switch up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be bought. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell certain people can be bought.
Yeah, and they try to normalize that stuff to you. They'll try and normalize like the most ridiculous things. Like when I was first in there and I was like, man, looking at different actresses and stuff that were around, I was like, I should just get my nose done. You can literally just buy whatever you don't like and fix it. But I was like, that don't make no damn sense. Because what if I don't like that? If I don't like me now, what if I don't like that?
There was a time I felt that way. I felt like if I got a certain amount of money that could change the lives of my life and my family's, I would take it. I mean, it depends like what it was, obviously. But that's just how my integrity set up, where I feel like I couldn't. And I was curious if you feel the same. Like, what if there was an offer, not maybe necessarily a check, but an opportunity to collaborate with a brand maybe you identify with and enjoy indulging in, and they presented with the opportunity to possibly change the entire your life and your family's lives, depending on what it was, even if they have a history of like doing some fuck shit like Gucci or some shit like that. Like,
It better be one hell of a deal.
An offer you can't resist.
It better be one hell of a deal, man.
but then you guys like shit on me for like saying like I wouldn't like take it, and you were like, sometimes you have to take an opportunity. When y'all said something, y'all were combative to my point of not being like not taking a deal, no matter what.
I don't recall this.
I don't recall.
Now y'all don't.
But I think, it's very hard to say because there's a lot of contingencies with that. You know what I'm saying? I think anything you got to do where you have to sacrifice your integrity or your morals, like, it's just not worth it. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, like, personally, like, I look at life on a grand scheme of stuff. Like, this stuff that we're caught up in, music, materialistic stuff, like, all that clothes, like, it literally means nothing. Like, Albert Camus, like, existentialism. Life is absurd. All of this is meaningless, except we give it meaning. You get me? Right. So it's like, that's what helps me stay grounded, because I have to remind myself that outside of all this man-made shit, none of it matters. And that actually gives me some solace.
I think Jim Carrey just said something like that. Like when he was accepting an award, and he kind of tried to play it off as sarcasm. He was just trying to say like, "Ooh, I'm so happy that I'm receiving this reward. I worked so
this
hard."
Chunk of metal.
Yes, because it's just like, what does it even mean?
It doesn't mean anything. We give things value.
The man-made accolades, bruh.
Don't get caught up in it.
Yeah, I'm on the fence, and I'm with you at the same time, because I feel life is as long as you make it, right? So it's like, if you live in each moment and you have like these material things, you can still live a good life.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
But I understand what you're saying though.
Yeah.
I think it depends also, what you place your value on. Like, personally for me, this year, because I just turned 27, I decided that I want to live my life about experiences and creating memories.
I was just about to say that.
Like, that's
life
it.
is about what you want to experience.
That's it. I'm living my life for experiences because I used to be so caught up in, I want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. I want to be, you know what I'm saying? I still want that stuff, but it's not as important as just having a good experience on this earth.
Yeah.
I just want to enjoy my existence.
Yeah, I don't want any more wasted time. I feel like I've been caught up in my own depression and my own overthinking and just holding myself back. I'm in a phase in my life where I just want to do everything I want to do and just live,
Just
live rather than exist, I feel like I existed most of my life.
Like, what are you afraid of? Like, I feel like I ask myself that a lot. Like, what is it that I'm afraid of?
I think one of the main things I'm afraid of is just not getting it. Like, it's not trying and not getting, trying and failing.
Oh, fear of failure.
Yeah, failing. Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot of people's thing.
I feel like I've not done things because out of fear of failing.
But the beautiful thing is, like, you can get right back up, dust yourself off, and try it
again.
Yeah.
Fear is an illusion.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's definitely an illusion.
After 101
False
episodes.
evidence appearing real is fear? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go, the acronym.
Quotables.
Yeah.
New merch coming soon. So, like, there's no linear trajectory to careers, life. What keeps you going each day, keeps you motivated, keeps you humble?
Food. No.
My favorite answer. Food.
Man, you know what? To be honest, like, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I don't know. You ever wake up and you're just like, I am tired of feeling.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very genuine thing to say
Yes.
because I feel like that's that, and it's such a weird thing to say to that. Like, this is my answer, but, like, I always ask myself when I get up, like, man, like, who am I when I'm all by myself? And that's who I would want people to know who I am when I'm all alone. If that makes sense. It
does.
sounds weird, but, like, only you know who you are when you're alone. And I think a lot of people are stifled in life because they don't fucking like themselves.
That's so true.
So when you're by yourself and you're doing weird shit by yourself or whatever you're doing, like, that is who you are.
And I think that's why so many certain types of people who don't like themselves spend so much time with other people and
Yo.
around other people.
That's
Yes.
my argument for introverts versus extroverts. I feel like extroverts don't know
Yeah.
what to do when they're alone.
Yeah.
Yes,
opinion.
or and then there's fake introverted extroverts. It's just like this weird thing, but I feel like, in the long run, that's what it is. I want that. I just want to be me every day. There's nothing complex about it. Just
be you.
Yeah, I want to be cool with me when I'm by myself and cool with me when I'm out here. Like,
Something I always say is, like, just master the art of being yourself.
yeah, like, even if it's weird, even if I find out that, like, I really want to be a pancake in my life, like, I'm gonna be that.
Right.
Right.
Like, whatever.
Own it.
I
Own
fuck
it.
with that.
And last question. What are some goals for yourself going forward towards the end of 2019, going into 2020? Any personal goals?
Man, honestly, my biggest goal is to just never fold like I did. I don't got nothing else. Just don't fold. Don't fold. That's the goal. Don't fold no more.
Remain sturdy.
Yeah, because
Keep going.
2020, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a magical year for everybody.
I feel that. I've been feeling that, actually.
Yeah.
I'm nervous, though.
The focus, the everything you want, manifest that out loud. Don't be afraid to be super specific with what you want. But for me, the goal for the rest of the year, don't fold.
I like that.
Word. Well, we have a segment on this podcast called Don't Sleep, where it's basically we give something to our audience that they shouldn't sleep on, whether it be a certain song that you heard before or a certain food that you ate. You mentioned food a lot. I'm sure you have a lot of dishes in your mind that you have enjoyed that I think people should indulge in. This week, my Don't Sleep is, I'm kind of winging this right now. Simple as just don't sleep on yourself. Like, anything is really possible. Like, if you have opportunities in front of you, like, take advantage of those opportunities, move without fear, and just try shit, because you'll be surprised at what you can get done. And I think I'm really talking to myself in this moment, because 101 episodes of a podcast, all just based off an idea that I had when I was high, is kind of insane. And it's turned into this really beautiful thing. So just don't doubt yourself, and just try shit, because you'll be surprised. Coco?
I would say don't sleep on being thankful and grateful for, whatever it is that maybe you're working towards something, towards a particular goal. But sometimes we just need to take stock on what it is that we have, the people that are around us that support us, things that we have in our lives every day that we don't really express thankfulness for. So
I'm thankful for you guys.
Gratitude.
Everyone in
we're
this room.
thankful for
Gratitude.
you, Jeff.
Gratitude.
Conscious rap.
I would definitely have two don't sleeps. The first one is don't sleep on just creating great experiences while you're on this earth. Just experience life. Do shit you've never done. Have as many first times as possible and just enjoy that shit. All right? Please. Second, don't fall asleep on the free Meat Mill series, the bio series on Prime Video. Yeah, I think people definitely need to watch that and just know more about his story. I mean, being on probation for 11 years, it's just crazy how the mass incarceration is just so evident in that whole situation. So I think you should watch that and just see what some people, because he represents what a lot of black people are going through. He's definitely not the first and definitely not the last, unfortunately, but definitely watch that. Don't sleep on it.
I'm definitely looking to that.
My don't sleep on trusting your intuition and trusting yourself and your first instincts, because you're normally right. Your body is your internal compass. Ultimately, you already know deep down what you should and should not be doing and where it might possibly lead you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I hope your first podcast experience was enjoyable.
Yes.
It was definitely an interesting episode, I think. Very
Bro,
powerful.
I
we learned a lot.
love this episode.
Really?
Like, I gotta give you a hug after this because I fucking love your energy. Like, I
Word,
think it's
yeah.
so cool.
A lot of positive energy.
Yes.
Please shout out where people can find you and tune into your content.
Oh, you can follow me on follow me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube at Tokie Renet, TOKIERENET.
The
fake DJ horns.
I thought the engineer was playing the sound for a second. That was good.
Yo, that was a good invitation, though.
So if you enjoy this podcast, wherever you indulge at, whether it be iTunes, Spotify, wherever, please utilize the rating system because it definitely encourages us and inspires us to keep going. YouTube.com/Introverted Intuition for visuals. Like and comment on that. We have merchandise available. It's on the link in the bio of our Instagram page, but it'll also be the link in the bio of this episode. And yeah, just thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. And we love you. The engineer just left the room, so I don't know who's going to end this. So I guess we got to keep talking.
Where'd Mike go?
We're just
Keep
going to
it
keep
rolling.
talking.
Gotta
Keep
hit
it
a
rolling.
freestyle.
I don't want them to edit this out either. Yeah.
Fuck it.
So, guys, what are your plans after this?
I'm getting high.
Hi.
I'm getting food.
I got work to
I
do.
got food right here.
Oh, that's right. Today's
always
Tuesday.
I was about to say you have food the whole
Today's
time.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, today's Tuesday.
You're genuinely surprised. Like,
By the way, you were the one who said that you were available on this day too. Like, I tried to,
hey, yo.
I tried to push to Thursday, Wednesday, but she was like, nah, Tuesday.
I have to teach a art class when I get back. I go back to Houston on the 15th. I gotta teach a class.
To kids?
No. I love teaching to the babies. No. I teach like healing classes, like a healing art
nice.
class.
Okay.
They're cool.
Okay.
That's dope.
Mike, I don't know if you can hear me. We're done.
Hey,
Thank you.
thank you guys.
I went like this to him. I went this. Go.
Later.
Before